Hey, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we'll be looking at the different mathematical operators used in JavaScript. So the first operator we will be looking at is the addition or the plus operator, which is simply denoted by a plus sign. And we have some code here. Let me just read it for you. Where sum equals 10 plus 10, console log the sum. So we're taking these two values, 10 and 10, and we're console logging the sum of the values. So I just go like this, press enter, it returns 20. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the plus operator. Next up, we will be looking at the subtraction operator. So the subtraction operator is denoted by a minus sign, and to use it we say this, or difference, because to subtract means the difference. Of course you don't have to use difference, but for simplistic purposes or just for ease of read, we say difference equals to 410 minus 110. So if I go like this, I say node and provide the path, which is 02 underscore subtracting numbers.js, and I press enter, we get 300. Let us do this again so you can see. Right here. Okay, moving on. So the next operator we'll be looking at is the multiplication operator, which is denoted by the simple star symbol right here. And we have for product is equal to 40 times 10, and we're going to console log the product. So we go node, paste in the path, and press enter, and it returns 400. Next up we have the division operator, which is simply the / symbol on a keyboard, and to do division we simply say var quotient is equal to 40 divided by 2, and we want to console log the quotient. So if we navigate to our terminal like so, and we do this and press enter, it returns 20, because when you divide 40 by 2 we get 20. Next up we will looking at the how to increment in JavaScript, and to increment simply means you just add 1. So take this example. Var, or the variable myVar, is equal to 100, and we want to say myVar is now equal to myVar plus 1. So this is doing the same thing as adding 1 to the variable myVar, which is 100, and that should return 101. So if we console log myVar, we get 101. Now additionally, we can also say, let me just comment this out, and this too. We can say myVar plus plus, so var myVar is equal to 100, myVar plus plus, and then we just console that log myVar, and we run this. Let me just copy this from here, Ctrl C to copy, Ctrl V to paste, enter, we get 101. So you can say my var plus plus as a simple way to shorten this operation. Now, in addition to doing this, we can also see, for example, let me leave this one and just comment that and see, let's see, instead of doing this, we can change this from here and say, let's say my num, for example, and my num is now going to equal to my var plus 1. We're going to console log my num. So my num, just do like this, and let's change the value of this. Let's put this to 200 just to show you that it actually works, and let's change this to 20. Right, so my var is equal to 200, my num is equal to my var plus 20. This should return my num as 220. So let's press enter, and my num is now equal to 220. So similar to how we can increment in JavaScript, we can also decrement in JavaScript. And decrement just means the same as subtracting one. So my var is equal to 100, my var equal to my var minus 1. This should return 99. Similarly, we can say my var minus minus. So let me do a comment right here, and I'm just going to console.log my var. In the terminal here, paste the path, press enter, returns 99. In JavaScript, we have decimals, and decimals are sometimes referred to as floating points or floats. I have an example. Var decimal is equal to 5.7. In JavaScript, we can multiply decimals, and similar to how we were multiplying whole numbers, we could also multiply decimals. So var product is equal to 2.0 times 2.5, and if we do a console log of product and run this in our terminal, we get 5. 2.0 times 2.5 is equal to 5. Similar to multiplying decimals in JavaScript, we can divide decimals, and let's just give you a quick example. We have var quotient is equal to 4.4 divided by 2.0. If we do a console log of this, we should get 2.2. So console log quotient, copy and paste the path, node and the path, and we are left with 2.2. Next up, we have the remainder operator in JavaScript, and the remainder operator looks like a percentage symbol, and what it does is it simply divides two numbers and returns the remainder of those numbers. And we can use this operator if we want to find out if something is either even or odd. So let's look at this example. We can say var remainder, and the remainder is equal. Actually, I didn't even. I could just go like here. So let's do this. Control X to cut. Control V. I didn't need to declare the initializer. So let's just do it in one line. Var remainder is equal to 11, and we want var remainder is equal to, or we're trying to find the remainder of 5 from 11. If we do a console log of remainder, they should return 1, because 5 goes into 11 2 times, which is 10, and it leaves a remainder of 1, which would make it 11. So we do a console log, enter, and the remainder is 1. Additionally, you can use any number you like, so let's say 3, and we do node 10 underscore, oops, my mistake, node 10 underscore remainder dot js, get 2. So just play around with the operators and you should be fine. So in addition to the basic operators we looked at in the earlier segments, we can also use compound operators. And the first compound operator we'll be looking at is the compounded addition operator. So let's say we have the variable a and is assigned the value of 4, and we want to change a to 12 whenever something happens in our code. So we say a is equal to a plus 8, and that should return 12. We do a console log of a, and 8 plus 4 is 12. Now a shorter way of doing this is by saying a plus equals 8. So essentially what this is saying is that, hey, we have the value 4 assigned to a, now we want to add 8 to that value, and instead of writing out a is equal to whatever the value of a is, or a is equal to a, which has the value of 4, and then adding the 8, we just simply say a plus equals 8, and if we do a console log of that, then we should get 12 again. So yeah, that's how you work with the compounded additional operator. Next up, we will be looking at the compounded subtraction operator. So for this operator, let's say we have, for example, var a is equal to 4, and we want to subtract 2. So we can say a is equal to a minus 2, or we can say a minus equals 2. So let's do a console log. Of a, and let us comment that out for a bit. One on here returns 2, and then comment this out and uncomment this, and we get 2 again. So that's how the subtraction compounded operator works in JavaScript. Next up, we will be looking at the multiplication compounded operator, and let's say we have the var a is equal to 4, and we want to multiply 4 by 2. So we can say a is equal to a times 2. The value of a is 4, so 4 times 2 is 8. Sure, we could do that, but just like the other 2 examples that we looked at, we can also say a times equals 2, and we do a console log of a. Let me just comment this out first, as per usual. Enter. We get 8, and now if we do comment that, and let's go here and do this, we get 8. Now to prove again, let's say we want to 4 times 4 to get 16. We say boom and go out, and we get 16. So that's how the multiplication, the compounded multiplication operator works in JavaScript. Now lastly, we have the division component operator. So var a is equal to 4, and we want to divide 4 by 2. To get 2, we say a is equal to, a divided by 2 to get 2, and we do a console log. So run this in the terminal, we get 2. Now we comment this out and uncomment this. We run the same thing again. Oops, so let me just do, so copy and paste this from here. Okay, and we go like so, we get 2. Just again, let's change the value of 4 to 60 and let's divide it by 10. We do this, we get 6. So yeah, I hope that clears stuff up about the compounded operators in JavaScript, and I'll see you again when we do our next series.